Linux is one of the most popular operating systems after Windows. It's used almost everywhere, in phones, laptops, home routers, and more. But is Linux as secure as many believe it to be? The surprising answer is no, it's not inherently secure. In fact, Linux can be even more vulnerable than systems like Windows 7 in certain scenarios. Unlike Windows, Linux doesn't come with pre-installed antiviruses or built-in defenders. This is because most tasks in Linux are executed using scripts. Installing an antivirus on Linux often results in these scripts being flagged as malicious, which isn't practical for everyday use. This lack of pre-installed security measures provides an opportunity for malicious actors. Many cybercriminals exploit these vulnerabilities to create malware targeting Linux systems. Given that the majority of servers running on the internet use Linux as their backend, these vulnerabilities become a critical issue. While some servers use Microsoft Windows, in this video we'll take a deep dive into Linux malware. Using Any.run, a popular malware sandbox platform, we'll analyze and destroy various Linux malware samples to understand how they work and how they can affect a Linux system. If you haven't heard of Any.run, it's one of the most popular malware analysis services out there. Malware analysis is typically divided into two types: static and dynamic. Static analysis involves examining malware files without running them, using tools like Ghidra to analyze the binary code. On the other hand, dynamic analysis is where we execute the malware and observe its behavior in real time, watching how it interacts with the system. Any.run specializes in dynamic analysis, allowing us to safely run malware in a controlled environment. In simple terms, it provides cloud-based Windows and Linux machines known as sandboxes, where we can test, monitor, and even completely destroy malware without risking our own systems. This makes Any.run a go-to platform for cybersecurity researchers and enthusiasts looking to study malware safely and effectively. Alright, I want you guys to follow along with me and do some freaky malware analysis. This is going to be really fun because we'll be destroying some Linux computers with malware and going to understand how malwares work in our machines and observing the changes it makes to the system and files. To get started, click the link in the description or simply type Any.run in your browser to navigate to the website. Once you're there, you'll see an interface similar to what's on your screen. Click on Get Started button, fill in your details and create your account, but note that it requires a business email for the registration. After signing in, you'll land on the main dashboard, which looks quite similar to what you see here. Any.run provides multiple ways to analyze malware. You can either upload a malware binary directly into your sandbox for testing or enter suspicious links into the sandbox browser for analysis. On the left-hand side, you'll find several options. The first button is used to start a new sandbox session for dynamic malware analysis. Below that, you'll find the Reports section, one of my favorite features. Here you can access publicly submitted sandbox reports, allowing you to see how different malware samples behave in real-world scenarios. Any.run offers a free plan, but there's a catch. Any malware you upload is publicly accessible, meaning anyone can view and download it. However, if you opt for a paid plan, you can run private sandbox sessions, keeping your analyses confidential. Alright, the report section is my favorite part of Any.run because it lets you explore publicly submitted malware analysis reports. At the time of this recording, there are over 11 million public submissions. Some are malicious, while others are harmless. The best part? You can click on any of these submissions and analyze what happened when the malware was executed, which we'll be doing in a moment. Right below the report section is the History tab. This is where you'll find all the machines you've destroyed, whether the malware you tested was actually malicious or not. It keeps a record of your past analyses, making it easy to revisit your previous tests. Next, we have the Threat Intelligence Lookup and TI feeds, a newer feature in Any.run. The list is generated based on a different principle, offering insights into the latest threat submissions and tracking which regions are reporting the highest activity. Finally, below that, you'll find a glimpse of some of the virtual machines I've completely obliterated in the process of preparing this video. Alright, now that you're familiar with the basic interface of Any.run, it's time to get hands-on with some malware. I've already got a few Linux malware samples from somewhere. Don't worry, you might find out where by the end of the video. Let's dive into our first Linux malware, a botnet. A botnet is a network of compromised devices, often called bots, that are remotely controlled by a malicious actor known as the botmaster. Botnets are typically created when cyber criminals infect devices with malware, allowing them to control these devices without the owner's knowledge. I have this botnet sample stored in a password-protected zip file in the Documents folder of my Windows machine. Now, before you panic, remember, it's a Linux malware, so even if I accidentally double-click it on Windows, it won't execute. However, if this were on my Kali Linux machine, well, let's just say things could get messy. Let's move back to the Any.run website and start a new analysis. When you click on New Analysis, a dialog box pops up. At the top, you'll see two options: Deep Analysis and Safe Browsing. Safe Browsing is mostly for phishing links, so we'll choose Deep Analysis. Within Deep Analysis, there are two modes: Simple Mode and Pro Mode. First, let's take a quick look at Simple simple mode. It's straightforward. You get an input box to upload your file or paste a malicious link. Select your sandbox and hit the Run Analysis button. But we're ethical hackers, researchers, threat hunters, and malware analysts. We like pro tools. So let's switch to Pro mode. Pro mode looks more complex but gives us greater control. At the top, you'll find an input box to upload your file. Let's click it and select our botnet file from the Documents folder. Once the file is selected, we move to the next option, choosing the directory from which the file will run. I'll select the user's home directory. Next, we have command line presets, which can be customized if you have specific commands. Then, we set the duration of the sandbox machine. If you're a free user, you'll only get 60 seconds, but as a premium user, I can extend this to 660 seconds. Now we configure the network settings. You can choose whether to give your sandbox internet access. I always say yes because malware often relies on network connections to communicate with command and control servers. You can also route traffic through Tor for anonymity and even customize other settings. On the right-hand side, you'll see a dialog box where you can select the operating system. Since we're analyzing Linux malware, I'll select Ubuntu, the only Linux machine available. Finally, we come to the last option, submission visibility. You can make your submission public, private, or for organizational use. It's more relevant for SOC teams' needs, but also important for companies. I'll make this one public so anyone can analyze it later. Once everything is set up, click Run as Public Analysis to start the sandbox and begin the analysis. Let's see what this botnet malware is capable of. After clicking on Run as Public Analysis, Any.run quickly uploads the file to the sandbox and starts the analysis. Alright, now you can see Ubuntu running inside my browser. This is how a sandbox looks. Basically, a virtual environment isolated from the host system. Now let's quickly extract our botnet and run it. Extracting isn't hard. Just click on the Extract All button, select your destination folder, and enter the password. Once that's done, let's open the terminal and execute the botnet malware. Watch carefully and follow along, but please, do not run this on your own system. It could destroy it completely. Alright, I've run the botnet inside the terminal. Immediately, you can see changes being monitored by Any.run in the sandbox. Now, take a look at the tabs below the sandbox window. If we click on the Connections tab, you'll notice a process named Watchdog making connections to a foreign IP address. This is most likely a C2 server. On the right-hand side of the screen, we get a detailed report. Here, we can see a list of all the processes that started after running the botnet. If we focus on the Watchdog process, Any.run has flagged it as malicious. This confirms that the botnet is now active and connected to a C2 server. The hacker behind this botnet can now control the infected system to perform malicious activities at any time. But lucky for us, and unlucky for the hacker, this is a sandbox. All of this activity is confined within this environment and will be completely trashed in a few minutes. This is the beauty of analyzing malware safely using a sandbox. Our second Linux malware is Mirai, a famous malware known for targeting IoT devices like security cameras, routers, and more. Luckily, I've got a sample to show you how this works. Let's dive in and analyze it using Any.run. To start, I'll upload the Mirai malware into my sandbox and begin the analysis. Like before, I've got the sample stored in my Documents directory. Now let me extract it and quickly run this thing inside our Ubuntu sandbox. Alright, I've executed it. At first, nothing much happens, just a name vegasec appears, and it doesn't seem like anything else is going on. But when I ran it again, something unexpected happened. Look at this. The screen jumps back to the login screen, and now I'm locked out. I have no idea what the password is, but one thing is clear. Our device has been compromised. Mirai is far more dangerous than the previous botnet we analyzed. Let's take a closer look. If we sneak into the Connections section, you'll notice a connection to a foreign IP address, most likely a C2 server. The IP appears to be from Germany. Now look at the right-hand side of the screen for a detailed report. The machine has already been flagged as malicious. Any.run has identified Mirai and its botnet activity. You'll also notice the CPU and RAM usage, which are spiking like a heartbeat, another sign of an infected system. Below that, there's an endless list of processes running on the machine. You can click on any of these processes to get more detailed information. Any.run provides the option to download the malware sample if you want to analyze it on your own system. though I don't recommend that unless you know what you're doing. Additionally, you can download a detailed text report. This report includes everything: process details, screenshots, and events triggered during the malware execution. But there's more. Any.run generates a summary using AI for Windows malware. Unfortunately, this feature is unavailable for Linux. You also get graphs to visualize malware behavior and have the option to restart the sandbox machine if you want to rerun the analysis. And don't forget, Any.run isn't just for Linux malware. You can also use it to analyze Windows malware. I've analyzed some notorious ones, like WannaCry. And let's just say I've wrecked a few virtual machines in the process. Let me know if you're interested in watching a video on that next. Alright, by now you should have a good understanding of how to use Any.run for dynamic malware analysis. You can easily do it yourself by heading to the Reports section and searching for any type of malware you'd like to research. For instance, you can search for ransomware and a list of different malware samples tested in sandboxes will appear. You can click on any of these submissions to dive deeper into the analysis. For example, let's click on the Clop ransomware submission and see what it's all about. You can then click Get Sample to download it directly to your system. However, keep in mind that the sample will be inside a password-protected file. I want to stress that even if the file is zipped or password-protected, handling these kinds of malware samples on your main system can be very risky. To stay safe, I highly recommend running it inside a separate virtual machine. This way, you can keep your main system secure while analyzing the malware. Any.run offers a lot with a free account. But if you plan to use it for your company, privacy becomes crucial. You wouldn't want to publicly submit malware samples used in attacks on your organization. For this, you can opt for Any.run's premium plans. Any.run not only simplifies and speeds up SOC team workflows, but also ensures all company data remains secure. To view the options, just click the Pricing button in the bottom left corner. There, you'll see 3 plans. First, there's the free plan, which provides access to a Windows 7 machine, a Windows 10 machine, and a 60-second analysis time. Next, there's the Hunter plan, priced at $300 per month. This plan includes all the features of the free plan, plus some advanced options like video recording, access to additional machines, and a longer analysis duration of 600 seconds. But if you want to use Any.run for your team or organization, you can opt for the Enterprise plan. Pricing for the Enterprise plan is not listed, but you can directly contact Any.run by clicking the Contact Us button or using the email provided. The Enterprise plan offers a lot more features compared to the free plan and the Hunter plan, making it a great option for larger teams and organizations. However, if you're just an individual exploring malware analysis for fun, I suggest signing up with your business email and trying out the free plan. Any.run provides a lot with the free plan, making it an excellent starting point. Later, if you find the need for advanced features, you can upgrade to the Hunter plan. Using Any.run has been a lot of fun. Before making this video, I tested out WannaCry and a few other ransomware samples, and it was quite an experience. Let me know in the comments if you'd like me to make a video on that topic too. Alright, that's it for now. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like it and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to hit the bell icon to get notifications about my latest videos. You'll also find links to our Discord server in the description. Join to meet other cybersecurity enthusiasts like yourself. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Twitter for more updates. Links are in the description. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.